let's talk about amp clamps. Amp clamps allow you to measure the current flowing through a circuit or a component, and it can also give you a visual of the mechanical health of certain components as well. You can have amp clamps for different applications. So some clamps will measure lower amperage, some will measure higher, and some are purposed just for one specific test. One thing to keep in mind, even though we're going to be measuring current with an amp clamp, it's actually outputting voltage to the oscilloscope. So if you look at each of these clamps, they actually give you a scale to use. That way you can set your oscilloscope up so you get an accurate amperage reading. And certain clamps like these two actually have multiple scales you can use depending on what switch position you have it in. And it actually looks like I left this switch on, so the battery's dead. Don't forget to cut it off when you're done using it. So let me show you how to set the clamp up and the scope using this headlight bulb as a demonstration. So to begin with, just for a baseline, you can see this headlight bulb is pulling about 4.2 amps. This amp clamp has two different settings. It has a 20 amp and a 60 amp scale. So we're going to start out with the 60 amp scale. On this 60 amp scale, this probe is going to put out 10 millivolts per amp. So we can expect 40 millivolts coming out of this probe going to the oscilloscope. So now we just need to do some quick math before we set the scope up. So this is 10 millivolts per 1 amp. So what we need to do is take the voltage part of it and multiply it by whatever number gives us 1000. So if this is 10 millivolts, we're going to have to multiply the scale on the scope by 100 because 10 times 100 will give you 1000. So for the scope setup, we're going to come down here to current because we want it to read out an amperage. And we're going to choose the 100x multiplier. That way our readout is accurate. And the time base is really just going to depend on what you're looking for. So right now we'll just keep it on 500 milliseconds. Now that we have the scope and the clamp set up, all we have to do is place the clamp over the wire that we want to test, turn it on, and see what we get. So as you can see, we have a little bit here, but it's really not much. So let's take a closer look at it. So after zooming in, you can see we have just a little bit of an indication something happened, but there's really not much to go off of. So let me show you how to fix this. And we have another issue. Our reading is going down. So let me show you how to fix that as well. So our first issue is going to be voltage scaling. So what we need to do is actually scale that voltage reading down until we get within the range of what we expect our circuit to be. So I think this 5 amp scale is going to work the best. And our other issue is this waveform needs to be inverted. So if you have the option on your scope, you can just turn that on and next time it'll be going the right direction. Or you can take your amp clamp and flip it over and achieve the same goal. So now when we turn it on, we get a waveform that looks like this. So this is the waveform we just captured. It doesn't look too bad, but there's one more thing we can do to make it look a little bit better is apply a bandwidth filter. So we're going to turn a low pass filter of 30 kilohertz on, and let's take that measurement one more time. So this time, when we take our capture, this is what we're left with. Looks a lot cleaner, a lot more distinct. So let's take a look at this. So remember in the beginning, we figured out that our bulb is going to pull about 4.2 amps. But if you look at this high measurement right here, it's pulling 33 amps. So what's going on here? That big measurement right there is the inrush current. Our actual measurement that we want to take is right down here where it stabilizes. And if we use these cursors, we can see that it's about 4.1 amps. So let's try the same test with this clamp. This one is scaled 100 millivolts per amp. So we're going to multiply on the scope by 10. That way it brings us out to the correct amperage reading. Another thing I forgot to mention, before you start taking your measurements, make sure you zero out your clamp without it connected to any circuits. So with this clamp connected, we can take the same measurement. Let's pull up the cursors and see where it's at. So with our cursors pulled up now, you can see we're sitting at 4.2 amps again, which is perfect. Another cool thing you can do with an amp clamp is see some of the mechanical characteristics of a component as the current flows through it. So I've got a seat motor right here. Let's turn it on and see what the waveform looks like for it. All right, it's on. Let's turn it off and let's take a look at it. So from this capture, we can see it took 7.5 amps just to get the motor to start working and overcome inertia. And if we zoom in on the waveform, we can actually see the individual humps every time the commutator passes the brushes. You can do a lot of really cool things with an amp clamp and a scope and measure a lot of different types of circuits and components. If I had to go back and get just one clamp, it would probably be this one, because it has the greatest range and the most accuracy within that range. This one I dedicate to parasitic draw tests because it is extremely accurate at low amperage, but it's maxed out at 30 amps. This clamp is a good option for low amperage readings, and it doesn't cost nearly as much as the other ones I have. And this is a good budget-friendly option for higher amperage readings, but it does cap out at 600 amps. Amp clamps are super helpful. I hope this brief description helps. If you found this content interesting and you want more, let me know in the comments, and y'all follow me for more.